In history, there are empires that are defeated. And there are empires that are erased completely. No names, no memory. What once existed slowly disappears from the world. History, torn apart and carried away by the wind.
Forward, brothers!
And then,
For the
from the
Khan.
distant steppe,
Horde advances! For the Khan!
a force emerged swift as the wind, ruthless as the storm. They left no trace, only destruction. The man who led them was a name that made the world tremble: Genghis Khan.
The children out!
Villages vanished in flames, people disappeared into the night. And their next target was a kingdom believed to be unbreakable, Western Xia. This is the story of their fall, and the final wrath of Genghis Khan. All that remained was sand. Deep in the heart of Central Asia, an empire rose in silence.
Hidden deep within the endless dunes,
Where barren
the great
deserts
oasis
gave way to
city
life.
thrives.
Is the Teha, a
It was
formidable
Western
desert
Xia,
power
a prosperous
whose walls
kingdom
protected
between
the
sand
lucrative
and
trade
wind.
routes for centuries.
At its center stood the capital, Yinchuan, a fortress nearly impossible to breach.
50 coins for this magnificent
Trade
vast.
routes
A
flowed
true
here like the
masterpiece.
lifeblood of the world.
50.
Gold, silk, rare spices, all passed through Western Xia, bringing wealth and power. From distant
For
horizons,
centuries,
caravans
the Silk
arrived
Road
without
has
end.
moved cultures and commerce across these sands.
A city perfectly
As we blend
organized,
ancient
with
layout
walls,
with modern
gates,
data, the
and nature
strategic
itself as
genius
a
of the
shield.
city's defenses becomes clear.
The Yellow River
For centuries,
did not only
the
sustain
river
them,
has flowed beneath these formidable walls, symbolizing the unwavering.
it also protected a dynasty of immense authority. Every command carried the weight of an empire. Soldiers guarded every wall, ready for any threat.
Is the Teha,
Western
a formidable
Xia
desert
seemed
power
unconquerable,
whose walls protected the lucrative trade routes for centuries.
but on the horizon, a storm was forming. From the north, there were no walls, no borders. There was only the steppe and the ghosts advancing. They watched, they waited, and they never missed their target. When the moment came, they moved faster than anyone.
The
Every
Roman
pounding
cavalry
hoof
charge
was a step toward
terrifying
destruction.
display of disciplined
They did not
force,
stop, did
shattering
not
the
hesitate,
resolve of
showed
their
no
enemies.
mercy. And ahead of them, a world completely unaware,
Attack! Leave no one!
until
Get out of the
everything
way!
ended in an instant. Arrows fell like rain, no warning, no escape.
Keep moving! Don't
Panic
look
spread
back.
faster than fire.
It's spreading too fast! Run!
Homes turned into torches. An entire village vanished in a single night. When the sun rose, nothing remained but ash.
In the wake of the disaster,
The survivors
morning light
had nothing
offered no
left to
comfort
lose.
to the few who remained. Everything
And those who caused it all had already disappeared, as if they had never existed. Before the storm, Yinchuan still stood strong, as if it had never been threatened. But on the horizon, death was approaching. An army that could not be stopped. They needed no words, everything was calculated.
They're coming!
Inside,
Feel it
fear
now!
began to spread. And then, the trap closed.
Archers to the line!
The defenders
Lock
knew
your arrows!
there was no way out.
Ready the ballista! Hold
The sky was torn apart by waves of arrows. But this was only the beginning. The city was protected by its own river. And that very river became a weapon. The water began to rise. With every passing moment, the fear grew. The pressure kept building beyond control. And then, everything slipped beyond control.
Move back! Get to higher ground! The dam has broken! To higher ground! Quickly!
Not only the defenders, but the attackers as well, were swept into nature's fury. The battlefield turned into a sea of mud and water. A costly mistake.
Forward, soldiers!
But they did
Bring
not
the
stop.
towers to the wall. Do not break
And
formation.
inside, strength was fading. And as the noose tightened, the outcome was only a matter of time. After the storm, Yinchuan still stood, but it was no longer whole. The gates did not open in victory, but in surrender. Western Xia chose to submit. Pride was traded for survival. A single document ended a nation's independence. And on the other side, there was no emotion, only power. And then, they left. Like a storm that had only temporarily faded. Life slowly began to return,
Standing guard
but
on the
not as it
Western Xia
once
wall,
was.
The garrison was stretched thin.
The
Their
walls
posture
still
reflected
stood,
the
but
waning
the faith
fortunes
was
of the
gone.
empire.
A
The
fragile
shadow
peace.
of the Mongol rider. Though
Because
the
the
rider is
shadow
long
of the
gone,
Mongols had never
remains
truly
stretched
left.
across the walls.
And in that silence, something had changed forever. The Mongol Empire continued to expand. Every move was carefully calculated.
We strike here, at dawn. The wind favors us. But the scouts reported heavy resistance near the river.
And the next target had been chosen. A war machine was set in motion. A message was sent. It was not a request, but a command.
I bring urgent news for the council. Let me pass.
The Emperor's decree is clear, yet the situation on the frontier worsens by the hour.
In Western
We cannot delay
Xia,
this decision
silence
any
took hold.
longer.
The demand was clear: submit and support.
We must hold the river crossing at all costs. Retreat is not an option.
But General,
But the decision
scouts
was
reported
not an
it is
easy one.
suicide.
And then, they said no. A choice had been made. The message was sent back.
They defy you.
In the darkness,
The Western
the answer
Lords
was
will
received.
not yield the Silk Road. They are preparing their defenses as we speak.
No anger, no shouting. Only silence before the storm. And across the steppe, a storm of wrath was beginning to rise.
The Mongol legions,
The storm had
gathering
finally
like the
arrived.
storm itself, prepared to sweep across the plains.
No more warnings, no more chances. There was only the will to destroy. An entire army surged forward like a black tide. Nothing could stop them. With every advance, a city fell.
Reached its
The walls no longer mattered.
The walls, once thought
Panic spread faster than fire. Death fell from the sky. There was nowhere left to hide.
Across the landscape, the fires
From
of
one city
conquest
to the
raged,
next,
signaling the end of the Western Xia and the dawn of an unstoppable empire.
fear became the deadliest weapon. They did not rush, they did not break. There were only those who fled, and those who pursued. An entire land
From this
consumed
height,
by fire
the
and
true
smoke.
cost of the conflict becomes
And when it
tragically
was
clear.
over, there was nothing left but silence and ash. Finally, Yinchuan had fallen. No more defenses, no more hope. Those who remained chose surrender. A dynasty ended in silence. Power fell like ash.
The collapse was absolute. The monarch.
What was once glorious was consumed by fire.
As the flames consumed
Knowledge,
the ancient
memory,
texts,
history,
an era
all of
The
it
siege of
vanished.
the Keiha Citadel reached its devastating climax. The wall.
When dawn came, there was nothing left to save. There was only silence. A city, a civilization, erased from the world, as if they had never existed. After everything, there was only silence. The man who changed the world now stood alone. Genghis Khan. Power had finally left him.
With this final impact, the long war finally came to an end.
An era had come to an end. No cheers, no victory. Only the silence of those who remained. What once burned bright slowly faded away. And the world kept turning without waiting. Elsewhere, Western Xia had vanished. No trace, no memory.
The desert stretches endlessly, a testament to the power
Only
of reclamation.
sand and wind. And that is how history ends, not with noise, but with silence.
Thanks for watching.